Hello, everybody. I know it's 2:30 in the morning, but still, this is a great time to do a live. Trust me. Trust me. We're going to talk about double standards in Asia, in how it's unbelievable. Just it's double standards on another fucking level. It is outrageous. I just can't believe this shit is happening. Let's just have a look at this poor guy that went to Indonesia. His name is Julian Petrulas. I've given him a big thumbs up. I even wrote a comment. I'm going to react to this video later tonight and gave myself a thumbs up. So let's just get into this. The double standards in Asia and at home are at the stage where we're just at a massive disadvantage. And the only way to fight back is to take the action into our own hands. I got to tell you, I love the fact that there was this guy, Luigi. He went and took the power into his own hands, the law into his own hands, and took out some healthcare piece of shit. In Australia, we have scumbags taking our stuff. And we go to their countries, they don't do jack shit for us. They rip us off in their country, and they come to our countries and rip us off as well. It is outrageous. I think that when this happens to us, we need to start locking up Indonesians at home. Tit for tat. Fuck these people.
I've become one of the most talked about people in the country, being publicly humiliated by the media and even the government. So let me explain. This all started after I filed a lawsuit against somebody, following serious issues with land that I spent millions to acquire. After acquiring the land, I made a YouTube video titled How I Make Millions of Dollars in Bali. In this video, I showcased what an incredible place Bali is, how lovely the people are, how it's one of my favorite places in the world, featured my restaurant Penny Lane, and specifically a 1.1 hectare plot of land that I had just acquired. But soon after this purchase, I began receiving countless calls and messages from Balinese in the community telling me the man I purchased the land from hadn't paid them, broke promises, disappeared, and was not replying. After this discovery, I attempted to negotiate civilly with this man to try and rectify these issues and protect my investment. Imagine spending millions on a deal and then finding out that other people had been wrong done by, and you were now left to clean up the mess. I did my due diligence, but sometimes things just don't go to plan. After making multiple attempts to try...
If Indonesians come to Australia and anything like this happens, there's laws to protect them. But we go over there and they fuck us up. Absolutely disgusting what has happened to Julian here. And I think we should get behind Julian on this one, 100%. If you guys can reach out to him, if we can somehow help him, we need to do something about this.
Try to resolve things peacefully. This person unfortunately continued to complicate and escalate the situation. Eventually, I reached breaking point and I said, enough is enough. Once I involved my lawyers, they uncovered numerous issues. One of the most significant findings was that allegedly, this man attempted to commit tax fraud by altering the deal's documented price. This manipulation was intended to deceive the government into believing that the deal's value was much lower than what he sold it for, enabling him to pay much less in taxes and defraud the Indonesian people and government. A point to remember about what I'm telling you. So, after finding all of this out,
He's doing some signaling to the Indonesian government. He's speaking from a higher standard which does not exist in most Asian countries. He's trying to appeal to the government as if they have some sort of a rational way of thinking. They don't give a fuck, especially when it comes to a white foreigner in their country. They will just fuck you. They don't care. They don't care about you.
We decided to file a lawsuit because things were getting scary. But just 48 hours after filing this lawsuit, mysteriously, dozens of negative articles and videos appeared online. Coordinated, targeted attacks, all designed to destroy my name and reputation. I was shocked. They took my 6-month-old video and cut out parts where I stated that I just purchased the land and anything else they could throw out of context whilst leaving out anything positive. This is my biggest land purchase ever. This created massive controversy and stirred up emotions within the Indonesian community. Each morning I'd wake up to another 10 videos or articles that had been paid for. These were not organic articles.
See, this is what I want to point out. We got an Australian citizen who's done nothing wrong. He's gone there, spent good money, hardworking man, started a business, hired local Indonesians, and now he's the victim of fraud. And then they went on a slander campaign to attack him. Now, the thing is, I just want to pitch what has happened to me recently. An Indonesian woman, when I was born, my parents got divorced. My mother was a total nightmare. She was damaged. seriously damaged woman. She grew up in a an all women's home. Her parents were a bit of a mess. And so I had a nightmare mother already. They they had a divorce, and my mum made it difficult for my father to see me. So my father abandoned me because he's a weak man. Couldn't spend some time to come and see me. And then he married an Indonesian. This Indonesian scumbag ended having some defective kids. One's a total criminal. The other one's really nice, but he died from a drug overdose. And as time went on, what happened was about a decade ago, they divorced. They separated properly about a decade ago, and she didn't launch the divorce court proceedings in Australia as an Indonesian born in fucking Indonesia. She's not Australian, and she spent a lot of her time sitting on fucking welfare, the parasitic piece of shit. And then she waited for my hardworking grandmother, who worked her entire fucking life to pay off these mortgage, pay off and buy this house, these two houses and this apartment. And I moved into my grandmother's apartment, my grandmother, my grandparents, and this Indonesian bitch goes to the fucking divorce court and launches divorce proceedings. And the Australian government hands her what my grandparents fucking worked for. And they fucking hated this scumbag. They fucking hated her. They saw her as a money-grubbing piece of shit. And now she's in my grandmother's apartment, a $1.4 million apartment in Bondi Junction, this parasitic cunt. But when an Australian goes to Indonesia and does everything right, and then we got a dodgy Indonesian like what this poor guy's going through right now, he buys something that has all this debt, which is fraud, and then goes out and slanders him in the media. And then the Indonesian government gets involved to protect the fucking Indonesian because they're in Indonesia, right? But we've got Indonesians that come to our country and fuck us in the ass, bend over Australians and just ram it up our fucking asses and steal everything that our grandparents fucking built. These parasitic cunts, and nobody is gonna defend us. No one's gonna fight for us. We have to fight it ourselves. I like the way that Luigi guy took out that healthcare CEO. It's probably the only way we can fight back against these parasitic cunts. But let's go through this story on how badly this Australian guy got fucked in Indonesia.
These articles and videos were orchestrated, allegedly, by the person I sued. It was a targeted attempt to destroy my reputation and hurt my chances of having a fair trial. I am a strong, stoic person who prides themselves in their ability to handle emotions, but this was a different type of level than anything I've ever experienced. And to be honest, this week, I've lost a lot of sleep, but I will not allow my name to be tarnished any further. This is why I'm making this video. So let me dive into the facts. After the articles came out, they went super viral. But the first thing they used to attack me was saying that I used the word purchase. This is my biggest land purchase ever, and it is illegal for foreigners to own land in Indonesia. But then they said they checked the land and even my other businesses and said that I own nothing. No businesses, no properties, and no land. Quite an odd thing to say, as nobody ever reached out to me to verify anything. They simply disclaimed this and tried to sweep it under the rug. Super odd, right? But what they failed to explain is that I legally purchased the leasehold rights to this land. The entirely legal way for foreign investors to purchase land. Leaseholds in Bali can last decades, and mine will last most of my life. In my video, I said, this is my biggest land purchase ever. And this is the one reason the government...
Australians cannot buy land in Indonesia, yet an Indonesian piece of shit can come to Australia and buy land here and get citizenship and go on welfare and get into the divorce court and claim that they're fucking parasitic bitches and steal the property from grandchildren and people who have worked hard to build something. We're getting fucked on both ends here. This guy went to Indonesia to build a business, and then the government stepped in with absolutely no reason to fuck a foreigner for no other reason other than to fuck an Australian. That's what the Indonesian government did here. They fucked an Australian for no reason other than him being Australian. When are we going to start fucking Indonesians in our own country? Come on.
Government is going on some weird tyrannical mission to make an example out of me, only because I stated that this is a land I purchased.
I'm going to be showing you the process of buying land.
From the point of buying the land.
Yes, this is a land I purchased for multiple decades, and I spent millions to do so, just how people worldwide do with leasehold properties. But because I use the word purchase, this is apparently such a big crime that the media have published hundreds of articles and videos trying to destroy my name.
Buying land.
Did you know every single residential property in China is a leasehold? Australia's capital city, Canberra, every single property is a leasehold. Even in London, yes, London, England, almost 40% of all properties are leasehold. So imagine this, you live in London or China, and you saved up for years to buy your very first house. It's a monumental experience for you. You fulfilled your childhood dream and bought your very first property. You're ecstatic and over the moon and decide to share your new purchase on social media. But then, 6 months later to your shock, the government holds a press release to publicly humiliate you, call you a liar, say you own nothing, and ban you from
Look at this. Look at this. Wait, let me see.
publicly humiliate you, call you a liar.
Where is an image of an Australian politician stepping in to protect an Australian and fuck a foreigner over? When are we gonna get some sort of, you know, pushback here? When is someone gonna stand up for us? But here we have Safar M. Godem. He looks like a cunt, and he's clearly just attacking an Aussie that has started a business in Indonesia to steal his fucking money. And we got the Indonesians in Australia stealing our money. We got Australians going to Indonesia and having our money stolen, defrauded. The Australian government doesn't help us out, but the Indonesian government helps out Indonesians. Like, when is this going to stop? When are we going to get the same sort of protections as these cunts on our doorstep?
Liar, say you own nothing, and ban you from the country. Why? All because you said you purchased a house? What an absolute crime you've committed.
I just bought my first ever home here in Bali.
Did you murder somebody? Steal money from investors? Or is it all because you said you purchased a house?
To get the best price is buying a plot of land and building everything yourself.
I'm sorry, but if somebody buys a property on a leasehold for, let's say, 65 years, that will last most likely till they're dead, I would be shocked if you had the same experience as what's just happened to me. I really wouldn't expect anybody to make a post saying, hey guys, I just bought my dream leasehold property expiring in 57 years. No.
Do this until February 1st. On January 1st, we're starting a 4-week chair workout challenge
Good
for
idea.
beginners over
Because that would sound very, very weird.
My wife Casey and I bought a block of land in Bali.
So, I legally acquired the rights to the land, exactly how I should have. Yet nobody ever mentions this. And I can tell you, right now, there is literally no difference in price between owning the freehold or the leasehold. So why wouldn't I do it? That's right. Because it's illegal, and I only wanted to do it the legal way. I still don't really understand why the media and government only cared about me, since it's totally an organic and natural
So he didn't break any laws.
media story that wasn't paid for, right? Kind of like how the media and government doesn't care about any of these people.
I want to go check out more land to buy because prices are going through the roof. And I've never seen something so crazy. Like, you can.
So if you're just entering the stream, what happened was, this is Julian Petroulas. I probably mispronounced it. If you can reach out to him, give him a yell out, say hello, see if he's doing okay.
Double your money.
I'm going to be showing you the process of buying land.
It has been a
Because we have to stick together. Our own government's not doing shit for us.
2-year journey of building my dream house here in Bali, Indonesia, literally from the point of buying the land.
I just bought my first ever home.
Despite the facts, the government issued a statement claiming I own nothing, banned me permanently, blacklisted me, turned this into a national story, and completely humiliated me. They even claim my lies could scare away other foreign investors from Bali.
Well, firstly, I don't recommend you buy jack shit in Indonesia. And if there's an Indonesian in Australia, I recommend you scam the cunts. Fuck these people. Just like the piece of shit that fucked me. But if you have a close look at this, the government didn't just get in and take his side. The government then slandered this Australian, kicked him out of the country. His property's now been stolen. He's now been banned from the country, so he cannot go back there to clean up the mess. All of this money has been stolen from him, swept under the carpet, and nobody's there to help him. I doubt the Australian government's going to help, because the Australian government is an enemy of the Australian people, by the way, because they don't do jack shit. If anything, they're more likely to help an Indonesian in Australia to steal more property from Australians. We have a government that is trying to remove property from you and colonize this country and turn it into, I don't know, some sort of They're trying to create some feudal system here. There has to be a reason for it. But in Indonesia, they defend their own people. In Australia, they don't defend us at all.
Bali. Wait, when you say foreign investors, do you mean somebody who like invests millions into Bali, creates thousands of jobs, and businesses that pay loads of taxes? That sounds like somebody I know. Never mind. Anyway, let's talk about Penny Lane, the restaurant they say that I don't own. If I don't own the restaurant, then why do I have access to its financial statements? It seems a bit odd that they would say that I don't own something without ever contacting me to verify it. I'm sorry, but I'm a businessman, and this means setting up things to protect my investments. I'm a shareholder and an owner. Yes, I'm not in the bar making cocktails. I'm structured as a shareholder and investor. It's weird they would say that I don't own it. Do they think that I passed through security at the front and the 100 people working and then hop behind the bar to film this video? Penny Lane is one of the most successful physical businesses on the island. It generates on average $500,000 per month. This revenue.
Oh my God, he's got a massive business. They stole his business that generates $500,000. Oh my God.
Contributes to hundreds of Balinese and their families who depend on these jobs. But for some reason, one sentence was taken, and on a technicality, they've done this all to me.
My wife Casey and I, about a year ago, bought a block of land in Bali.
And just
This is clearly not a small little thing. They're stealing millions of dollars from this Aussie. It doesn't look like the Australian government's doing jack shit to protect him either. The Australian government's spending most of their time defending Indonesians that are stealing more property from Australians within our own country.
to make things clear, any property, business, land, or investment that I've ever made in Indonesia has contributed to less than 1% of my total net worth. I made all my money elsewhere, and then only with that wealth I created did I start to invest into Indonesia. A lot of the articles say I made my money in Bali and boast about it to try to show off, but that is absolutely incorrect. I own businesses in over 10 countries, and never once have I ever talked about them. Because I wanted to showcase Bali, because I love Bali, and I love Indonesia and its people, not for any other reason. A lot of these media stories say that I boast about making millions, which yes, I'm guilty of being proud of the things I've accomplished. But in every video, I try to inspire and motivate others to let them know that this is possible.
Every video, I'm going to try to educate and inspire the next generation to come and to do this.
I come from a low-income government benefits household, and this is why I try to motivate everybody to let them know if I can do it, then so can you. Even in my Bali videos, I tried my best to showcase something to add a positive message. But of course, none of these were put in the articles.
Life isn't all about money and numbers in a bank account. There are things that you should go and do. Be creative, create things. If it's just about money, you'll never be happy.
So, my lies are spending millions for the land, my lies are investing into businesses that contribute to hundreds of Balinese families, and they then use me as an example to say that this could scare away foreign investors. Really? The timing of all of this is very mysterious, and the person...
Well, the thing is, it will scare away foreign investors. I hope you guys spread this around, and we make sure that nobody invests in this scumbag country on our doorstep, Indonesia. Keep in mind, we're at war with these motherfuckers. Like, we're in an arms race with them. We're preparing to go to war with Indonesia as we speak. It seems like Indonesia's aware of that, but the Australian government won't let the Australian people know. They're scared. I can't believe that this happened. I really feel bad for this guy. Julian Petroulas. Give him some love, guys.
Who allegedly paid for all of these attacks got exactly what he wanted. The campaign succeeded. But nobody's looked into this person, have they? It's very odd, isn't it? Can you imagine having any of this happen to you? Imagine getting into a deal.
Who is the guy? Name the motherfucker. Give me his name. Can we find out his name, guys? Are there some sleuths out there that can find this guy's name? And I'll happily slander the fuck out of him on this channel.
Spending millions legally, finding out you've been lied and cheated to, and then getting absolutely destroyed by the media and government, all because you were trying to protect your investment and the Balinese people involved in this deal. This would never happen in a Western country. Never. Because this would fall into a very weird category of what one could consider of being framed, especially after they checked and looked into everything. And I got banned exactly for what? For
and fraud. Aussie entrepreneur is banned. Yeah, imagine that. You get banned from Indonesia for owning a property and bragging about it. Like, seriously? We got Indonesians committing real crimes in Australia and it goes unpunished. They're protecting fucking parasitic immigrants. We got immigrants that come to Australia, get married, and sit on fucking Centrelink for 30 years like parasitic pieces of shit. They get free healthcare. They go get operations on their knees. They get all of these fucking freebies from our country, like the parasitic cunts they are. And nobody does anything about that. What about coming to Australia and then bragging about being on Centrelink for 30 years and being a parasite to the country and being an enemy of the country and stealing money from Aussies, stealing property from Aussies? Yet an Aussie goes over there and they, for no reason, like slander him like this. They ban him, they steal his property, destroy his business. Dude, come on. Come on.
Be using the word purchase.
I want to go check out more land to buy.
But the person who allegedly cheated the Balinese and defrauded the government is still out there sipping coconuts on the beach. It's very odd, isn't it? I've invested millions into Bali. I put Balinese families into housing their children through school and donated to countless charities. But I've never put any of.
Stop going to Bali, people. It is a shithole. It is a fucking shithole. Stop going to Bali. Stop going to Bali. We should stop traveling to these countries. Fuck these people.
That onto social media. I showcase Bali as a beautiful place for family, friends, and investment. I love Indonesia. It's one of my favorite countries. I've been visiting Indonesia since I was 17, before anything existed like what does today, before it was a mega tourist hotspot. So it's extremely disappointing that this is a treatment I've received. Now, the only reason I've made this video is because through my year-long social media journey, I've amassed a strong following of people who have witnessed it. Throughout this journey, I've decided to sell nothing. No courses, no memberships, not even a fucking coffee mug. You know why? Because my name and integrity mean so much to me. I've made my wealth.
You need to start selling missiles and guns and bombs, because the Bali bombing did a lot for the Indonesians, more than us.
On my own. I did this from nothing.
Start our own shit here.
I didn't need a course. I didn't need a membership. I didn't need to sell a single fucking thing. I started documenting my life to inspire the younger version of me, a young kid trying to find people like me to look up to let him know that this is possible. And in trying so hard to protect my reputation by turning away millions in deals that I've been approached for, I've now had the only thing that truly matters to me attacked. My reputation is everything. And a man's reputation.
You can see by the way he's talking, he's so professional. He will say things in a way where you know what he means, but he just won't say it like I will. He'll say it in a very politically correct, almost, he's very PC. Let's just put it that way. And I can't imagine someone like this. I just listening to the guy, hearing his story, I just trust him, and you wouldn't be putting this up like this. You wouldn't be coming out publicly like this. I don't think, unless you're in the right here. Bye Bali. I hope this person does not convinces people to never go there. It's Indonesia. What do you expect? There we go. It's an Indonesia. Welcome you to the real Indonesia. Yes. The news media is corrupt. But the thing is, they're corrupt protecting Indonesians. That's the thing here. They protect their own people, and that's something that we need more, We need someone protecting our interests in Australia, and the government's just not doing it.
Reputation is the most valuable thing that he can leave behind. So I end this video to make it clear how much I hate corruption. These cheap media stories cost a few $100s to produce 10 at a time. And the government, you represent the people. So I trust you will look over the facts closely and stand up against corruption.
Yeah, like you guys can see what he's trying to do here, right? He's trying to appeal to the Indonesians that believe in the difference between right and wrong. I was like that once when I first started this channel. Hell, in 3 months, this channel's a decade old, by the way. I was I wasn't ideally, I don't know how to put it. I just, it's January 1st, guys. Give me a break. I believed that there was some sort of morals in the world. And the more I studied geopolitics and the more I look at how the world really works, there's no morals. That's why when that Luigi guy shot the CEO of some healthcare company, so many people got behind it. They're like, yeah, good work. They're the people that realize how the world really works, what really goes down, how the world really operates. And he's sitting there trying to somehow appeal to their moral fiber in the Indonesian government. And he's not fully aware that we're at war with these people. There's no such thing as morals when you're dealing with the enemy, and that's what they see us as. The same as many Indonesians in Australia right now. They're just foreign agents. They're enemies of ours as well. We're surrounded by enemies. There's no such thing as appealing to their good nature. You know, World War II, you can't just like yell across. The diggers weren't going, hey guys, look, give us a break. We're not quite shooting at each other yet, but, you know, currency wars, trade wars, we start attacking domestic, foreign expats. That's how it works. We get into an arms race. You know, there's clearly an escalation here where they're clearly attacking an Australian citizen for no other reason other than him being Australian, in my opinion. And he's trying to appeal to their what moral fiber he thinks that they have when we're really at enemy with we're really at war with these fuckers. And that says a lot about how he sees the world. And, you know, I guess he's young and a little bit naive. This is not how the world works, you know. But so what we're going to do here is we're going to remove this, and I think that's right. And then we're going to come up here, and this is the one I wanted. And we're going to talk about what is technically the solution. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Now, domestically, we have so many immigrants that things are they're chocked up, like gummed up. The gears in Western society is just, there's too much gum in the system preventing real Aussies, real Americans, real Canadians, real British, even French, from doing what they need to do to protect themselves within their own country. So the only solution we have is to cause so much mayhem internationally, not because we're going to colonize, we just want to cause mayhem. Not because we want to take Syria, but because we want to destroy and make it so difficult for them that we're just going to make everybody else's lives more difficult. So let me explain. You guys know about the South Korean president here. He tried to enact martial law. And now just a quick little overview of what I think really went on here is this guy is clearly, you know, he's like a puppet for the United States. I've been talking about this for a very long time, that South Korea kind of needs to be destroyed for economic reasons. You know, like South Korea, what is their largest industry? It's the steel industry with POSCO and, obviously like Samsung, and they've got these oligopolies, massive companies that were set up by the United States so that they can basically control South Korea. South Korea is basically a puppet state that was basically been created over the last, say, 70 years since South Korea was invaded by the North and the West moved in there to defend it. It wouldn't be rich without the West making it rich and giving them industries and giving them technologies and actually giving them US dollars by buying their products. That's how it was built. But it was built really so that we could have a competitor to China on its doorstep. You know, this is basically the next Ukraine. And so what I want to do is I want to go through the speech that he gave and try to see if we can read between the lines what he was talking about. And then I'll give you my take on what's going to happen in South Korea soon as well. And this is connected to the whole Indonesian thing as well, because we have so many problems that we're just going to make everybody else's lives a nightmare as the whole world will burn the same as Australia and the United States. We're taking the world down with us.
I declare martial law to protect the Free Republic of Korea from the threat of North Korean communist forces, to eradicate the despicable pro-North Korean anti-state forces that are plundering the freedom and happiness of our people.
Plundering the freedom and happiness of our people. Yeah, I can't get a read on that. Can you guys get a read on that? So this is the speech that he gave, which was an excuse for him to start martial law in South Korea. But then what happened was the South Korean people, because the South Korean people, they know that if they go to war with China, they're going to get annihilated. They're going to get totally smashed. They know that they will be the next Ukraine. It doesn't matter how much technologies you put into there. Like North Korea will smash them. China will smash them. And as I've been saying for a very long time, this is basic geopolitics 101. It's, Mackinder's land power theory. You have to control the island, the landmass first before you bother to try and take Taiwan. So they need to do something about South Korea first. The funny thing is, China needs to do something about South Korea, and the United States does as well. And so South Korea is in a bad situation. I guess, the South Koreans are fully aware of that. And so the South Koreans, what they've basically, as soon as this started to happen, thousands of South Koreans went to Parliament House, like within seconds, to try to fight the military and stop the martial law. Now, they succeeded. I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to read something in between the lines of what he's saying here.
And to protect the free constitutional order.
비상계엄을 선포합니다.
Yeah, that you're not protecting constitutional order when you're turning the country into a dictatorship, right?
이 비상계엄을 통해
Through this martial law, I will rebuild and protect the Free Republic of Korea, which is falling into the abyss of national ruin.
Yeah, that's just a word salad. Korea doing very bad. I need to become dictator. That doesn't make any sense.
To this end, I will definitely eradicate the anti-state forces who are the main culprit of the country's ruination and conduct vicious activities.
And conduct vicious activities?
반드시 척결하겠습니다. 저는 북한 공산
I declare martial law
을 반드시 척결하겠습니다. 저는 북한
And conduct vicious activities. Okay. All right. Against his political enemies within the government, obviously. So, I don't know. The United States has a bit of an issue here because they have an entire population that doesn't want to get destroyed in a war with China and North Korea. Obviously, the South Koreans don't want to get involved in that at all. This guy had a meeting with Xi Jinping literally 2 weeks before he tried to take over the country. And Xi Jinping, my understanding, from what both sides said about that meeting, Xi Jinping and any posts, there were many posts. You can go check out the Global Times, where they made it clear that this meeting was about Xi Jinping saying, hey, we need to talk every day. We're fully aware that the United States is trying to trigger a war. Can we just keep talking every day and try to avoid any sort of conflict? 2 weeks later, this guy tries to take over the country. And what is he going to do? This is another thing. What is he going to do when he takes over the country? He's going to prepare for war with North Korea and China, basically. And I doubt the South Korean people would like that at all. But this is kind of some of the things that the West is doing in its decline. We're causing trouble all over the world so that it will distract them, while we have a lot of domestic problems ourselves. If we have domestic problems, we're going to cause trouble all over the world. And I can imagine if South Korea gets involved over there, that would cause a lot of trouble all over Asia. Probably cause some trouble for Indonesia as well. And then who knows what is possible after that. Who knows what they have planned. There's probably some, some other plan to take back the South China Sea. Who knows? There could be some sort of a deal with the Vietnamese. Who knows? The Japanese might get involved. I think it's more likely the Taiwanese would get involved in a war than play defense at this stage. It's highly unlikely that China's going to attack Taiwan. I've been saying that for a long time. So far, because it hasn't happened, while the media is constantly saying that China's going to invade Taiwan, I've been more accurate than them. And all these years I've been talking about South Korea, going to be the provocateur more than anything. That seems more likely here. Let's just say he did become dictator, lock up all of his political enemies. What does he do next? Prepare for war with North Korea? Go through and clean up any sort of, opposition within the country and become dictator? Basically Zelensky style. I think that's highly likely. And that's something that we're trying to do. But on top of that, I think it would be nice if the Australian government would start looking out for Australians for once. I think Australians that go to Indonesia are not being protected. Australians that have legal problems with Indonesians within Australia are not being protected. And there's a lot of us that are just sick of it, to be honest. We're sick of the government helping foreigners more than ourselves within our own country. So that's a quick little live. Hopefully that's been interesting. I don't know why I'm coughing. But anyway, guys, good chat. Keep in mind, if I do lives in the future, I might try to do more lives. I'll leave the link pinned at the top there. If anyone wants to come on for a chat like I used to do, I don't know, like a year and a half ago, I was doing quite a few lives. But anyway, they'll do for now, unless anyone has anything to say. If you want to know what we're talking about in the members section, it's dirt cheap. I think it's like a couple of dollars. I'm posting actively quite often. We're on the job in the members section. Let's just put it that way. There's something important happening. We need to look out for ourselves as well as talk about the bigger picture. We can't just be sitting back talking about big political problems. Oh, Donald Trump, it's the Democrats, it's the Republicans, oh, it's the Liberal, it's Labor. We also need to be looking out for ourselves, building our own wealth, looking out, making sure that we have a bit of a nest egg for ourselves as well. That's something that I'm trying to focus on in the members section. But anyway, hopefully this guy gets the help that he needs. This Australian that had his business stolen, his property stolen, and was banned from Indonesia. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I'll see you guys in the next one, hey?